Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Whoa.
Look at that mess.
How did that happen? Let's see. Put
It's
it up
not
right.
down either. There we go.
Hello, everybody, and how's it going? Thank you for joining me there, Dan. I was kind of a little worried. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey man, if I don't say I'm not gonna be here, I will be here. That's all I can say. Unfortunately, I was like everybody else on a kind of a cold upper Midwest day here. I was playing a game. I looked at a timestamp on it and I saw that it was 7:04, and I'm like, oh shit, Jimmy's gonna be doing it solo tonight.
Right. But
So not always necessarily a bad thing, I guess, but none of us like to do this stuff solo, but every once in a while, it ain't bad.
Yeah, if we have to do it, you have to do it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I just seen a comment about somebody said that it's going to be raining at Wake the Dead. Man, I sure hope not. I sure hope not. Man, that would be really bad.
Whether it's a Base Wars show or a regular car show, a cars and coffee kind of thing at a dealership on a Saturday or Sunday, even if it's not Base Wars, if it's another org or just anything else, rain kind of sucks for a show.
I will definitely be at Midwest SPL Finals, Trenton. Sure, yeah. I don't know about Dan or anybody else, but I will definitely be there for the weekend.
There is a possibility that I may make an appearance down there if it's I got to talk with a couple other people in that area about some stuff, and I talk with the boss man here as well. I got to speak with Billy as soon as he gets his AC issues fixed and see what he's looking at doing in the next couple weeks. So I might be making a drive down that route for something, but not necessarily Wake the Dead or Scraping the Coast, unfortunately.
Oh damn! I hope it changes and misses us.
Ooh, yeah.
We still got a couple days, so I really hope so.
Big storm. It's only Monday though, too. So unless it's like scheduled for literally Saturday and Sunday right now, I'd love to be a weatherman and only be right half the time and still get paid that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it moves on by then. Maybe it'll change or something. I don't know. Hell, I sure hope so. I mean, regardless, I'll take a couple canopies and I'll be out there demoing anyways and doing what I do, just like I'm sure everybody else will. So we'll figure it out, rain or shine. We'll make it work.
Yep.
That's how we do it. But other than that, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Need some Base Wars here in Texas. Yeah, I think it's in the works, I believe.
We do have a judge down there, Andrew. So, yeah, we should be able to help you out at any time with quite a few different things, actually, there.
And see, you're right on that one. See, that's we'll go off of that aspect. It's the Midwest. It'll say it's going to rain 1 minute, the next minute it'll be snowing.
That's right.
So
it definitely is. There's no lying there at all in that aspect of things about Midwest weather.
No.
Wait 5 minutes, it'll be a 40-degree, 50-degree swing in some towns.
I mean, like it is right now. You wake up in the morning, and it's like, like 50, 60 degrees somewhere in there. And by the middle of the day, it's probably 87. So it's a pretty big, dramatic change right now, but I kind of like the weather like it is right now, to be truthful.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't mind the cold. It's something I joke about it a little bit with friends and family about how at the end of March and April, I'm always like, hey, 3 more feet. 3 more feet. And I'm talking snow, of course, because I love the snow, but I don't like snow. I don't like shoveling the snow. I don't like, the slipping and sliding, although that is fun to watch everybody else do it, just not yourself. But
right.
Yeah, I don't mind the snow. And I got to say, there's a lot of benefits to it. So
it looks like we got Chet going to be starting to do some shows in Texas. Just to let you guys reach out to him.
Yep. Chet Teal is named on there. He's kind of the west side of Texas. He is down outside of Odessa. He's
Yes,
in Texas. So right off Interstate 20 out there. Get a hold of Chet Teal. He is on Facebook. I don't see him very often on Facebook, but he is out there for us in Texas. Now, again, unfortunately, it is the western area of Texas, but he can help you out for now. I suppose if we needed to, maybe we might be able to finagle Jordan out that way a little bit. Jordan is based right in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. So if you got something, I'm not going to speak for him, but maybe if you got something in Beaumont or something that's right along the eastern border there on the south coast, maybe you might be able to talk him into driving or something. But I don't know what Jordan's range is or what he would be willing to do for something like that. But yeah, if you're looking specifically Texas, we got Chet Teal right now. He can help you out.
absolutely, absolutely. What's up, Travis? How are you, sir? How are you, sir? So yeah, I mean, like Billy said, he's working on the world record runs right now, getting all the data, making sure everything's correct, everything's right. Make sure any misspellings didn't happen, numbers didn't get put in wrong or something, because everything's backed up and saved. So he's got to go through all that and dot all the I's and cross all the T's and make sure everything's good before he puts out and says, everybody's got this or this. So, but he's definitely, I'm sure probably, I'm guessing probably by, hopefully next week or so, he'll at least have a list out of everybody and be able to tell everybody what they stand and what records they hold.
Yep. And I know, speaking of spelling issues, I personally did not spell anyone's name wrong, but I had some of our classes spelled wrong as I did the update with Term Lab because it is a new season and wanted to get the new bare bones class typed in and figured out for everything on that. And I unfortunately had hurricane with two N's instead of hurricane for one of my classes I think it was on the wall, and also had the baby boomer category spelled wrong. I had BSBY on mine. So Billy, when you do see that archive that I sent you last week, sir, please make note of that. I forgot to mention that to you, but we are getting it done. And like Billy says here, finals trophies, Billy not happy with them. We have sprayed them for texture, but it took 5 coats of primer and 5 coats of paint to cover them. So trying to find something a little better and paint that will dictate the color on them. So if you guys haven't seen them, Billy had what looks to be for second and third place anyway. So you got a second place award that's, say it's yay big, and third place that's a little bit smaller. It looks like
I think they're going to wind up being the exact same size.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're going to be the same size now, but they're going to be a couple different colors, and they look kind of like the wrestler belts that are out there. They've got 2 little areas on a side and one that's in a bigger area that will probably do something with, I would guess we're going to have something on it that says Base Wars in the center, and maybe Pride and Kicker or Resilient Sounds or Star Sound or something, sponsors on the left or right side, maybe your name and your class. I don't know what Billy's got planned for it though, but
absolutely, he'll come up with something. It'll be really cool. So just give him a couple more days to get everything finalized, and before you know it, you'll have your awards. And like I told everybody when you actually won, I told theoretically give him about 3 weeks to have everything done.
Yep.
That's to be done, and then he should be mailing them out. So, I mean, theoretically, I'd like to say in a month you guys should have all your trophies. And I know that's a little bit out, but sometimes you got to wait just a little bit.
Well, it is custom though too. So, and custom takes time. We don't want to make too many. We want to make sure we've got the correct list for people. We want to make sure that Jimmy's name is spelled right, or Dano's name is spelled right, or whoever. And got to make sure that we've got the correct address for you folks as well. If we can't get a hold of you, then it's a phone call or a message to, again, myself or Jimmy or Richard or Tony or Susan or whoever the judge is to find out, hey, do you have the information for this person?
Yep.
And that, unfortunately, it delays it for everybody, including you or whoever has it on your team. So make sure that when you do fill out your little, well, in my case, I was making blue and yellow sheets with everything here, but little blue score sheets and stuff for your judges, that you do actually fill out everything, because we do need it sometimes.
So
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh. Gonna be one of them nights. Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on and wait a minute. We'll get it done.
it's a little bit.
There you go. But no, it's been chilly up here, Jimmy. How's it been down there for you in KC? Obviously, you guys had well, it was
I kind of like.
on
I
Sunday.
kind of like it. It's just right, it's right at about, I'd say probably 55 to 70-ish in the nights.
Okay.
And we're it just depends day wise. It can be anywhere between 79 to about 87. So we're kind of
Right.
middle of range right now. So it's kind of got a nice little sweep.
Yeah,
But-
we've got
I kind of like the weather like this a little bit.
couple of days out here right now where it's been like 55, 60, and yesterday it was like 80 degrees, but it was kind of windy. It was a chilly wind, surprisingly, even though it was coming out of the southwest for us up here, but
Right.
still warm enough for me to have probably one more show still this month. But got to figure that out, and got to figure out shows for next year. I know I did I did like 20, I think I did 24 or 25 shows this year, 26 maybe. And that was the most I've done in a long time. And that was mainly just March through finals, and not even including finals, actually. So I did a show like basically one every weekend. I had a couple of weekends where I had 2 shows, but had a couple as well where I didn't have any. So, if you guys want to get shows done, get a hold of your local judge. And if you can't find us online, there is a map out there under the basewars.org where we found Chet just a little while ago. If you go at basewars.org and look under the word franchises, it's got my info, it's got Jimmy's info, it's got Billy's info, it's got the names of all our judges that are out there. So find
Absolutely.
us, and we'll get you a show if you can get us a spot.
Absolutely. And not that I don't appreciate some of your guys' enthusiasm, but just because you call me and you live in, we'll just say you live in Kansas, and you call me and you're like, hey, I live here in Wichita, we want to have a show.
That'd be nice.
Great. Have you found a location? Have you tried? No, but we just want you to come here. Well, sorry, not trying to be rude, people, but you have to remember, a lot of us work normal jobs too, so it's kind of hard for us to do it on that end. So, what I'm saying is, just kind of be nice. If you want to have a show in your location, try to help do a little bit of the footwork and try to see if you can't find a location that would be willing to allow us to come there, and maybe possibly talk to like some of the locals and figure out if we're going to need a noise permit or not.
Mhm.
Because if you don't live in the state, you can't get a noise permit. So if I'm having a show in Arkansas, I can't pull a noise permit for Arkansas because I don't live there. So it's going to take somebody that lives there to pull that noise permit. So we're going to need a little bit of help, and a little bit of footwork back from you guys would help it be so much better. So we appreciate it.
That
And then,
is very true.
like Billy says right here, April 25th and 26th, everybody's going to try to have a show. Well, hopefully everybody will, but it's going to be Base Wars' 10-year anniversary. So, and yes, Ben Furlong is supposed to be hollering at me. We're supposed to be getting some shows down there in the Missouri area down there for you guys as well. And I'm excited. So, I just, like I said, and I'm not being rude when I say it, but it does take a little bit of help from you guys. It goes a long ways for us. So.
like Jimmy said, we don't necessarily live in your town, so I can't go to the city council meetings and get a noise permit or get a variance for that noise permit or anything. So, please help us out. If I'm going to, I can do it here in T and I can do it here in Sioux Falls, but that's about it. If I got a show in, even 10 miles away in a little town up here called Del Rapids, I got to have someone from Del Rapids either accompany me to your city council meeting, which would be rare that I would go there, but, help us out a little bit. At least talk to your city council and your police department or your county area, local authorities, and say, hey, we would like to have something. What do we need to do for it? And they should be able to tell you, are you going to need a noise permit? Maybe you won't. Maybe you will. And if it costs 30 or 40 or $50, that's kind of nice. If it's over $100, I kind of shake my head at that point. I kind of think that the town's just making money off of you. But
unfortunately, smaller towns, that's going to happen. But I mean,
sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So be honest up front with them, and hopefully they'll be honest and up front with you. So.
Well, and like I like to say or I was saying the other day is that, I work at 9 to 5. Well, probably 8 to 5, to be truthful. So by the time I get off work and I get home and I get to a place where I can actually sit down and talk without being interrupted by my normal job or my normal life, most businesses are closed. So I can't call and really talk to somebody. Yeah, granted, I guess I could try to take a lunch or something like this and call somebody and talk to somebody, but if I don't know the area, I'm not going to know any locations. So, I mean, just gotta help somebody out, even if maybe, say, for instance, you want me to talk to the owner or whatever like that, provide me with a little bit of information, the owner's phone number, a good time that I could call him and we can kind of meet up or something, just kind of a little bit of help, I guess is all I'm saying. Yeah,
very true. I don't want to be bothering them necessarily during regular business hours, but if they've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes just for me to give you a short spiel about, hey, we're going to have, do you have some facilities that can help us? Because we're going to bring, our tent, our term lab, the TVs, we're bringing everything. We'll bring a generator if we don't have power outside, but if it's going to be a showtime where the business is closed, are there porta potties available? Is there possibly internet available? Is there possibly any type of power that is nearby? Do you have a location for 20, 30, 40 vehicles to be there? Where is the local up here in the Midwest anyway, where is the local gas station? Where is the local Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, home improvement center, so that we can send someone to get a tool or a part that they may need, not necessarily audio related, but something to work on their vehicle when they get there if they can't find someone that has the tool. I like getting to a show a little early and kind of knowing the lay of the land, so to speak, so I can tell people where those things are. But you guys are going to be much better at it than I am because you actually live there. So
yeah,
hopefully it helps us out.
100%. And like I said, we appreciate everybody, but
always
a little bit of that helps a lot.
Definitely. There's nothing wrong with being a little late to the show if you got to fix something when you get there. So always a good time.
Right. Absolutely. 100%.
A few minutes later.
A few minutes later, someone actually gets done and is ready in the lanes, even though they've been 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I would guess the big news would be probably Wake to Dead this weekend for a lot of us. If anybody's going to be there, I'll be out there playing, beating the shit out of my new subwoofers, the Dreamsicles I got in there. So Come by, catch
Yeah.
a demo, check out the build. Hopefully you don't catch me because every once in a while I have to stop and let it cool down a minute and charge up a little bit. But
What?
it is what it is, just like everybody else.
What do you mean, man? I only burp, man. What are you talking about? I don't do that. I just
No.
burp all day long, man. You want 152, 153 on a single 15? There you go.
No, absolutely not. I like
Sometimes that's all you need.
very true, very true. Depends on how loud you are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You got people like Matthew. That is hopefully in here somewhere that he's gonna be ripping people's heads off this weekend. Y'all just wait. In between him and Duncan and all them, it's gonna be crazy. I'll tell you.
Should
Definitely
always
going
be a good time at a Base Horse show. And like Jimmy says, we bring fun back. If you aren't having fun, it's because of the judge, unless you're blowing up gear. But even still, we try and make it fun for everybody out there. If we can't, then we are obviously doing something a little wrong as well. So hopefully it ain't the case. But
100%. Yeah, no, it's just gonna be a great time, and it always is a great time at most of our shows. I can't tell you really too many of our shows that I've ever heard really any complaints or anything. Every once in a while, granted, you're gonna have the local person that it upsets, and I apologize to that person. But I mean, we're there to have fun. You can deal with us for a couple hours. Sorry. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but it kind of really irritates me sometimes that the extent of that one person or that two people that get really upset. Do they not understand sometimes how much money we bring to that town, to that community when we come? We come in, sometimes we stay the nights. We buy gas all the time. We buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner while we're there. We rent hotels while we're there. It's like, do they not understand how much money we bring into some of them smaller communities as well? It's like, I hate to be rude, but it's like sometimes just shut up. I mean,
every once in a while, I wonder the same.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but it's really honestly, it's like, how much money did we just bring to your little community that has really nothing else going on all year long, and you're complaining about a little noise for a couple hours? I'm sorry that you're upset about that, but just think about the hundreds of thousands that we just brought into your community. Well, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands that we brought in. Let's be truthful. But still, it's it kind of irritates me, I guess. Very happy birthday, absolutely, yeah. Base Horse,
definitely.
Definitely. So
Get Team Boom out there.
Absolutely. Yep, I got the dreamsicles. Yes, sir, I sure did.
Yep, those are in there, Jason.
Yes, I did. Still be breaking them in, so we'll see how they go.
That's a nice little drive for you to get there. So, little
6.5 hours. 6.5 hours.
Like a little 15 hertz tone for about 2 minutes while you're pulling out of the driveway, and then 160 plus dB the whole rest of the way there. I know how you break things in because that's how I would do it.
Well, I mean, I got a passenger, so I can't really necessarily say that my passengers are going to listen to that all the whole way there.
Well, that depends on who the passenger is. Is it going to be Bear, or is it going to be Sonia, or someone else?
Yeah, it's Reese. It's one of my teammates. He's coming with me. I mean,
so 155 plus the whole way there.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. We'll be fine. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I got to sneeze.
I'm sitting here right now. I am looking at our little events page right now. And
hello.
I just got done looking at the new store layout well, not really a new store layout, but a couple of new things out in the store. We got the 26 memberships that are out there. So if you have not gotten your membership yet, folks, ask your judge about it. If you can't reach your judge, go out to the store and click the 26 membership link on there. That will get you entitled to a couple of things. It gets you to the kicker show stuff. It gets you on to our show, kind of mentioning things. If, hey, did you hear that my guy finally got his membership? His number's, 1,000, which I mentioned to Billy, when we get to that one person who gets the 1,000th membership, I'm taking care of that one because that's kind of a milestone for us since we've already passed 100. But I'm going to take care of number 1,000, whoever gets that. And no, you cannot request it. I know some people ask to request numbers and things like that. And hey, sorry, probably already taken by someone else. But
Yeah,
once
because I
you
want
get to 1,000 on the members, I'm taking care of that
number
one.
one, but Billy took it.
Yeah. You got number 2, though. Number 2 is pretty close.
Yeah, I know. And I'm happy for it.
And in the grand scheme of things, actually, a 1 or a 2, it's not a bad thing to have. I got number 4. I don't mind number 4.
Number 4.
I'll let Jordan keep his number 3 for now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You can't tell I got a new soundboard that I've been playing with, and it's kind of fun.
Patrick, I'm sorry I doubted you.
There you go.
Hopefully everybody else can hear it as well too, but I don't know.
Can use that one quite a bit, I'm sure, at home.
Oh, there's so much on here. I could
No,
I could sit and hit for days upon days upon days. So if you leave Wake the Dead sick, we know who to blame.
Yeah. Don't bring the cough and the sniffles with you is all they're saying, I think, there for Shane.
No, please. No, everybody stay home if you're sick, please. Please. I ain't trying to get sick. I gotta work.
Yeah, it is a pain when you're sick and you're traveling. That is never a good thing.
My sinuses are
Or you get sick once you get there.
No, get sick when you get home.
Yeah. And had a couple of cousins come out here from the Seattle Tacoma area a couple of weeks ago, and they were fine on Wednesday, and all of a sudden Thursday, Friday they got a little sick, and by Saturday they were puking and they weren't feeling good. They still got around and did what they wanted to do with us, but
Right.
we only saw them. I only saw my cousin and his wife twice, once for breakfast when they got here and once for dinner the night before they left. And it was going to be a lot more than that initially. They were going to show up at one of my Base Wars shows and check that out and support that a little bit. They couldn't get out of the hotel room. They were just not feeling it. It's not a good time to be sick when you're traveling. So if you are, please don't. At least don't stop by my tent. I don't want to be rude about it either, but I can't stand being sick. I hate it. I don't take 6 days at work unless I am really, really sick, and I might not put in all the effort for it, but I'm going to make up for it for the rest of the week. So
Right.
I'll at least give you 100%, 16% one day, 18 another.
You may get 100% out of me all week, but
Yeah.
it might take all week to get that 100%.
It's going to take you all week. And Friday, believe me, it's going to be in the single digits. So Thursday, Wednesday, I'm going to probably be pushing myself a little bit.
Right. Well, my job, it's so weird because one day I could go there and I could be doing drywall. The next day I could go there, I could be doing plumbing. The next day I go there, I could be doing electrical work. The next day I go there, I could be doing HVAC work because I pretty much can do all of that. And I pretty much do all of that with my job. So I never know from 1 minute to the next what adventure I'm going to be gathering in. I could be putting up a whole new brand new ceiling with drywall, or I could be snaking your drain because it's full of poop coming out of your toilets.
Yeah.
So I never know 1 minute from the next what I'm going to be doing. So it's kind of weird. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dead.
I know that feeling, Shane.
Oh man, absolutely not.
Definitely know that feeling.
And I'm sorry to hear that. I don't want that. I don't want to be sick. Absolutely.
definitely not a fun thing at all.
I mean, I've had a couple decent times this year that I was actually sick, but you know, if anything, I could say my allergies have kicked my butt this year. They've, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm starting to get a little older and they're starting to affect me more, but my allergies have just been on point this year. It's crazy. So,
Mine haven't been too bad yet, but we haven't gotten the harvest time up here yet. So I'm figuring once harvest gets going up here, that my allergies, especially my eyes, are just going to be painful and dry, and I'm going to be rubbing them. My eyes are going to be red for weeks at a time.
yep, absolutely.
Which I don't feel like it's a bad thing, but yeah, it still is.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, anybody else got anything you guys want to kind of talk about or chit chat about tonight? Definitely don't feel ashamed or afraid to bring up any subject or anything you want to talk about. You know, all out. We're always open to subjects and different topics and something to talk about. So,
Right.
I don't really have a whole lot myself, to be honest with you tonight. I don't know. I don't know. Last 2 years, my allergies have been horrible. Yeah, and you know, I've kind of been the same way. I mean, I've always had allergies, you know, but they've been mild, and I've been able to just deal with them and not really have to take allergy meds. But the last 2 years, I've had to take allergy meds, and I mean, like faithfully, 2 pills every day.
Right.
I mean, you can see. I mean, you hear me right now. I'm still kind of stuffed up right now, but. Oh, that sucks, Billy. Sorry to hear that, sir. For everybody that don't know, Billy's computers, or Billy's spot where he does all his work from, his office is hot because the air conditioners broke up there. So he, it's still pretty warm where he's at. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Michael. Yeah, definitely. Allergies are definitely something else this year. I don't know. I thought it was just me, and you know, I'm getting old, so I was kind of blaming it on.
It ain't just you, and it's a little of everything, I think.
Not really having any really good hard freezes, you know. I mean, we had one maybe last year. I think that was about it. We really had any good hard freezes for a while, so. Temp isn't bad, but just being upstairs is hot. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heat rises, sir. Heat definitely rises. So I don't know. But other than that, like I said, you know, anything new and exciting in my life is I got new subwoofers, breaking them in. They sound amazing. I'm happy as hell with them right now. And well, I shouldn't say right now. I apologize. I'm happy as hell with them. And I'm gonna go beat the shit out of them this weekend at Wake the Dead. Somebody wanted to get a demo, make sure you come holler at me.
There
I'll
you
be
go.
handing out demos for as long as I can. You know, unfortunately, I will have to take a couple breaks though, being due to the heat, I'm sure. But I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, turn them up. Absolutely. Absolutely.
At least have fun doing it.
You know, I mean, I didn't earn that Sydney nickname for a reason, damn it. So we will see. We will see for sure. What about yourself, Dan? What you got planned for this weekend?
I have very little planned for this weekend. I might actually catch up with a couple of different things happening in the area here. I actually have, Tim, our judge up in the Duluth Superior area. He's actually got a show over in Rochester this weekend, a trunk and treat car show that's happening. So I might actually swing over to that. It's about that's about 3 hours away for me, I would guess, about 185 miles. So I'd have to swing over to Rochester, Minnesota and check out his event.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because it is Base Wars, and Tim is, of course, a TBO guy, kind of like myself. So try and figure that out. Aside from that, this weekend, as well as I'm mentioning shows anyway, we got another one down in Mayflower, Arkansas this weekend with the Basin Mayhem show that's happening. Both of these are on Saturday. Basin Mayhem in Arkansas starts at 11. The one up here in Rochester starts at 12 o'clock noon, according to the event sheet that I'm looking at right now. So hopefully get a couple more folks at both of those shows and have some good scores that we can be discussing next week on Monday night. Hopefully Billy will be back around with us and be able to update some more stuff if he doesn't already on the regular Base Wars page, which I'm sure he will. But
Billy does a really good job to try to keep you guys informed, and he might tell us first, but he doesn't hesitate to let you guys know as well. So I definitely appreciate that. There's no secrets being held back or no behind the scenes ulterior motives. It's all just straight up is what it is, and always honest and always, I don't know. I guess that's what I really appreciate about the whole thing is there's really not much to hide or much to feel like there's all the BS or anything else like that behind the scenes. It's all just straight up front.
It's Billy making a lot of decisions through a lot of input from judges and competitors alike. Because if I've got a question, I know I go to other judges or I go to Billy, and I hope that that's what those people do as well. If you got judges that are asking you questions about something, about what should we do with this or what would you say, and if they got me a picture or video of something, I can better assess it. But if we got questions, we go to Billy and we try and get Billy that same info, and he gets us an answer. We get it right back to you folks.
100%. 100%.
It's one of the easiest, I don't even really want to call it a job, but it's one of the easiest jobs in getting a hold of upper management, if you will, that they do care, because that's all of our livelihoods to some extent, whether it's playing around money or if we use it to live off of and kind of help support ourselves. It's a good time. So, Oh, rear seat delete. Yeah, it's easily possible.
Absolutely.
Especially an extended cab. Dude, I can fit 412s across the bottom in my 2012 Ram, and it's the same size as a Silverado essentially. So yeah, I know you can do 612 because I'm going to do 412s, and I'm not even going to be above the window line.
I'm pretty sure Stephen Duncan has an extended cab Silverado, and I think he's got 915s in there. So
I was going to say, doesn't Duncan have 915s in that thing?
yeah, he's got 915s in there. So yeah. I don't think you'll have any problem at all, Tony.
612 should be relatively easy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He does put his amplifiers in the bed of the truck, so that also kind of is it 7? It might be 7. Okay.
Yeah, Billy says 7. I'll go with 7.
Why yeah, it's probably right. It probably is 7. I don't know.
But yeah, 612. So even if you do, 3 and 3, nice big box.
It open. Okay. Well, I mean, it's still possible, I don't know, without pushing it too much. I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel like that'd be any really that big of a deal putting 6 of them in there and still having plenty of room for your amplifiers and everything else. With proper planning and measuring, I think you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Really do.
I plan on keeping everything below the bed line or below the window line, bed line, whatever you want to call it, and shouldn't be a problem. So
I think he should be just fine because it should be wide enough to, between the depth and the width that he should be fine.
Oh yeah,
amplifiers up underneath
a little bit.
Yeah, he should be
60
fine.
inches wide, easily enough for 312s going across, because that's only 36. You're talking, let's say 42 inches then, with a little bit of bracing and a little bit of spacing so the baskets don't hit or we don't have a magnet issue right there where they'll rock into each other or something. Hey, there's a loud guy that we're talking about last week. Miguel, congrats on that Bandit 158 Plus, and saw your score this weekend as well at where was that, in Alabama this weekend with the Iasca folk, or DB Drag rather. Saw that score as well. Very nice.
Congratulations. Definitely congratulations on them scores. Congratulations to everybody that ran finals and won finals, and you know,
Definitely.
the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and you know, to possibly whatever place you got, you know, be proud of what you got. You went out there, you competed, you gave it your all, and you had fun doing it. So I always tell everybody, you know, it takes people to win second and third and fourth and fifth place to have a competition. Because if everybody came out and won first place, well, it would be a competition.
Exactly.
So, unfortunately, and I know, don't get me wrong, it sucks to lose. You know, I've been second place for many a years, so I understand. I put in my time and work, but it takes the third and the fourth and the fifth, and you know, it really takes just everybody competing to make it a competition. Because
it takes that to make it the competition, exactly. And you know, even if you didn't win, did you hopefully get a personal best? Because most cases, if it's personal best, that's winning in my mind.
I mean, my personal opinion, I would say hit up Brand X for the alternator, and you know, hit up you know, I don't know. I would say Excess Power myself because that's what I run. But you know, I don't really want to. I know there's a lot of people that would tell you C-Max or something else like that.
Sure.
So I would say just hit up maybe what your local dealers or some of your local guys have around you, and you could find readily available. But I mean, if you want my personal opinion, I say go with Excess Power. You know, it never hurts to have a warranty on anything that you buy. You know, I mean, I know there's a bunch of fair markets out there, and everybody's C-Max, you know, and I was C-Max for years, don't get me wrong, but once again, C-Max are used batteries, and you're not getting a warranty with it. So, you know, there's a lot to it. And if you're going to spend that much money for your audio equipment and everything else like that, me personally, I feel having a warranty behind it is that much better.
Yeah.
So, but that's just my personal opinion, and I'm not hating on anybody else, for sure.
Yep. I would, I'd go with a nice, reliable battery system. And again, I'm not gonna throw out names other than Excess Power because they're the only ones that I've really dealt with in the past. But dealt with some Maxwell caps that I've used for a while, and they ran my amplifiers for years. And still have the same bank sitting in my shop, and a couple more getting ready to get set up. So I'm content with those. And as far as alternators, yeah, Brand X is good. MacMen, Reggie. There's brand I use Autotech Engineering. They're all good brands. I know every brand out there has haters. I know that, but
Absolutely.
They're all good. They wouldn't be in business if they weren't. So
yeah, absolutely. 100%. Sorry. I was just trying to look at everything. Yeah, and I don't know, you know, there's so many different brands, you know, and like Dan said, everybody has their brands and everybody hates their brands. You know, everybody's had their horror stories, or everybody's had the pissed off owner, or they don't get responded to quick enough, or you know, there's always something. So you know, everybody has their own personal opinion. So that's why I said earlier when I named off the few brands that I personally run, that's who I deal with. You know, I ran JS for years and never had a problem with JS alternator. And you know, I met up with Jonathan, and Jonathan's a really good guy, and you know, and talked to him, and one thing led to another, and I wound up switching over to Brand X. And I don't regret my decision, but I don't say that JS alternator is a bad alternator either. So, you know, there's personally so many other brands. There's MacMan alternators out there. There's Stinger alternators out there. There's so many other alternator brands, Extreme Power, Extreme something. There's quite a few other brands out there of just everybody or everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just when it comes to that, I would say definitely do your research.
Oh,
Do what you feel is best for you. You know, if you reach out to somebody and they say, "Oh, I don't have your alternator, but I can make you one," maybe you might want to reach out to another company that's been putting out your alternator for a little longer, because they might have a little bit better research on that, on your type of vehicle and what it really needs, versus going with somebody that's never did one of your alternators.
Yep.
And I'm not mentioning any names right there at all, you know, because I don't know who it is or what it is, but that's the way it is, because I've seen it across the board. I've seen it where you know, McMahon has built awesome alternators for this style of vehicles all along, but we'll say Stinger hasn't built an alternator for this vehicle. Well, why would you go with Stinger when McMahon's been building alternators for 2 years for that vehicle with no issues, versus going with Stinger that's going to try to make you, you know, because there's always glitches and problems. But anyways, that's just, like I said, my personal opinion.
And something else that Jimmy just mentioned, you know, every once in a while, a company does miss something. And I feel, and I don't want to, again, I'm not going to disparage against someone else's company, but other than my own, and I'll just say that, hey, every once in a while, if Phil and I have something that's going on in our shop up here, that we miss something, and we try and take ownership of that right away, because we don't want to have any customers bad mouthing us online or bad mouthing us locally, because that gets out there a lot easier and faster than the good news does. So the sooner that I can take care of that and get them straightened out, figured out, taken care of, whatever it is,
Right.
that's better for me. So,
you know how many times, I mean, just little stupid honest mistakes can actually just mess something up. And instead of going back to the person and giving them a chance to fix it or own up to their mistake, that, oh shit, I am so sorry, I can't believe I did that, you know, that's completely my fault, let me fix you, let me get you taken care of. They go online and they badmouth the company or they badmouth something. And, you know, unfortunately, today's age, you know, if you go on Google and you leave a bad review about a company, that can really damage some, you know, the next person that looks at that company, and it can really hurt people.
Yeah.
So before you really go badmouthing a company or badmouthing a brand or anything like that, give them a chance to make it right.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that, is give that company a chance to make it right before you say they suck. Because, you know, accidents happen with any brand, all the way from the best one to the worst one. To, you know, you could go buy an amplifier from Walmart, and that amplifier could last you a lifetime. Or you could go buy an amplifier from Sundown, and it lasts you a lifetime. But Sundown has their messed up amplifiers and things that, you know, has gotten broken or something happens to it, or oops, that just slipped by the inspection, just as well as Walmart does. So, you know, give that company a chance to make it right before you talk shit about them.
Yeah. I'm
That's all I'm going to preach on that. But
I'm pretty quick to hang out on the fast food side with the Golden Arches every once in a while, and I've made my peace with them a long time ago. But man, 45 minutes in the drive-through line one time and 25 minutes another, just to get up and find out that the BM sandwich wasn't there. And I'm not going to say which one it was, but they said it was sold out. How do you sell out on a Big Mac? What the hell? But yeah, they didn't have it.
And things like that, though, you know, I mean, honestly, that kind of sucks to be that person that's working at that store and the company didn't provide them with the tools they needed. Yeah. So for that lady that's working the window that gets an earful from Dan because he waited 15 minutes in line just to get up to the window to realize they don't have the product. And that poor lady's getting cussed out or yelled at by Dan because he's upset and mad. Well, it's not that poor girl's fault that she's sitting there just doing her job.
Yeah, it's not.
So, you know, you guys really, and
my fault sitting here in the window.
Different ways or both sides of it, you know, because I've been that fast food worker that's gotten yelled at because you didn't have that product. Well, it wasn't my fault. My boss didn't order enough. It wasn't my fault that McDonald's didn't provide me with enough shake stuff, so I'm out of shakes or I'm out of fries or I'm out of this. It's not my fault that I just worked there, so don't take it out on me. So just
Yep.
remember that sometimes, people, because you know that makes a big difference. I see it so many times. And my wife used to be a waitress, and I used to see sometimes when somebody would just get so upset because they asked for a medium rare steak and it came out a little bit on the rare side or a little bit on the more well done side, and they were just completely livid and upset and just ready to cuss her out and not leave a tip at all with her. Well, all she did was deliver the food from the back to the front, but yet you're blaming her for it. So take a chill pill, people. Lighten up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
You're probably not going to die because of X, Y, or Z happening at an audio show or your favorite restaurant. Okay, well, you might die from your restaurant with food poisoning, but highly unlikely.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah, I mean, it goes
just
with
because-
anybody.
Just because I have just because I got a green bottle here with one set of pills and a orange one with the other, well, that helps me out because I know which one I got to take at night. If all of a sudden they're both orange, I'm not going to complain to the pharmacy because of it. I'm going to complain to the doctor because the doctor didn't tell him right. Well, that doesn't make sense either. So,
It's not the doctor's fault what bottle they put the medicine in.
yeah.
So I would just yell at the doctor. But yeah, I mean, it's just he's absolutely right. And I mean, the moral of my story is take a chill, take a breath before you get really upset and you yell at somebody. Think about, is it really their fault or are they really controlling the situation that is upsetting you?
Yeah.
Because if they're just a worker or they're just a manufacturer that you really haven't gave a chance to, like say for instance, say I make my own amplifier. They're JP amplifiers. Get it, JP? But no, say that I make my own amplifiers and I send you an amplifier that's broke. Instead of you saying, hey, your amplifier is broke and give me a chance to replace it or do something like that, and you go online and badmouth me, that's not fair to me or to my employees or anybody else because you didn't even give me a chance to make it right. So,
Exactly.
Communication is key. I will say this and I will tell you this. Communication is key. And I will say it from my industry because I have to deal with a lot of very upset people. Like, the best thing I can tell you is kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
You kill somebody with kindness, no matter how upset or how pissed off or how bad of a day they're really having. By the time you're done with your interaction with that person, their mood has probably changed a little bit. They've probably lightened up just a little bit where it's not that bad. And maybe you were putting that person's path or that person's life just to make them feel better.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't always have to be negative or be ugly all the time, people. Just chill out.
Ask them about the kindness that they want. What can I do to make it right?
Absolutely.
I might not be able to do it because it might be something that's not in my abilities to do so. If I break something, scratch something, dent something, whatever. But what can I do to make it right? What can I do to make you appreciate what I'm trying to do right now in making it right? How can I help? Don't get all back in my face about it and something else, but help out.
And I could say that I'm always perfect at it. The other day I was at Quick Trip and I was sitting in my truck and I just put my soda down, was getting ready to start my truck, and I feel this big wham on the side of my truck. And I immediately freak out. Everybody that knows me knows I love my truck. And I get out and come around and start screaming and yelling and realized it was a 90-year-old lady that could barely stand up, and she whacked the side of my stuff. Well, luckily she hit my running board and actually didn't hit my truck. But I immediately got angry and started yelling and screaming before I even realized that it was this old lady that could barely even stand up. And by the time I got around there and realized who it was and what it was, I felt like an ass.
Yeah.
Because I was ready to cuss a lady out because she might have put a dent in my door. It's materialistic things, people. Chill out.
I can replace a door.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it probably would cost me a couple $100 worth of damages to get it fixed if that was what it is. But do you really think that old lady meant to do it? No, she was probably just doing all she could to get up out of that car without hurting herself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's always two sides to a story. Just remember that.
I was, in fact, earlier today, I was, Mom and I went to lunch today at this place we know very well. My foot slipped off the gas pedal and onto the brake rather abruptly, right as I was putting the vehicle from park into reverse. And I was looking back, I looked up at the camera and I was like, what the hell was that? And I'm like, what the fuck? Let's move it. Pardon me. But what was that? And I didn't realize it was simply my foot had slipped and all of a sudden, boom, there it was. There was a little jerk to the car and an immediate stop. I'm like, okay, neither car around me was moving. There's nothing behind me. And my head is like this on a swivel looking around and I'm looking, I don't see anything there, but I'm like, okay, what the heck hit me anyway? Oh, it was just my foot. So.
Absolutely.
Oh, Bodie, Pippin, what's going on there, gentlemen?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? No, we're not really much to chit chat about. We were just talking about how it's easy to scream and yell and to assume that it's somebody else's fault or problem without taking a deep breath and realizing that's the person you're getting ready to yell at is probably not the person you need to yell at or is in control of it. So, take a chill pill, relax, have a good time.
Oh, and I'm sure this also applies to us as judges as well. And I'm sure Pippin has heard this one as well. Well, I didn't know that was in the rules. Well, then
I'm sure Pippin's heard that a lot.
Yeah. Why are you yelling at me if you didn't know?
That's your responsibility to read the rules.
It's kind of job to read out the rules. I mean, you don't have to agree with all the rules, but you should actually read them and know what's happening, hopefully.
I mean, it happened. I mean, I competed I remember my very first year with
oh, yeah.
Just making joke. But yeah, I mean, I can remember my very first year when I competed in Midwest SPL. I ran all year long without my headrest.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody said anything about it at all. And I didn't think about it. And, it was my first year. So I didn't really read that rule book probably as good as I should have. But, none of the judges or nobody else really said anything all year long about it. So I didn't really assume that it was a problem. Well,
Yep.
I show up at finals to get my vehicle inspected and they automatically threw me out because I didn't have my headrest.
Yep.
Well, I mean, at first, I was ready to scream and yell and cuss and tell everybody F this and F that and F that, and I'm done and I'm not going to do anything. Well, when I calmed down, a bunch of the guys ran around and figured out who the possibility had the exact same vehicle that I did and some headrests that I could borrow and got me some headrests so I could run. But I was ready to blame it on everybody else when it was my own fault for not reading a rule book.
Yeah. And
So
I remember the year. I remember the year, and Jimmy, you know the story. I know Pippin knows it too. That a good friend of ours, former judge, his baby mama was down there with her Mercedes something or other. Didn't have the gas door on it. Had to drive around town. Found the same vehicle, the wrong color, but it was that, and found it. But same things. And again, that's kind of knowing the rules of. Are there mods? And then there are mods, and you've got to have your vehicle roadworthy, or you've got to have X, Y, or Z for your vehicle or in your vehicle, whether it's fuses being covered. It's got to be newer than a certain year or have an airbag. If it's a rule change, try and know that stuff, especially with, new rules coming out for everybody right now. So, new season. We've got a new class. We've got 7 shows is no longer. We're doing 5 instead of 7. And we're not doing the double show thing anymore because we went down to 7 or down to 5 from 7. So, there it is. That's the changes essentially for the rest of 25 and into 26 until we do finals again.
And
Those
don't get
are
me
the-
wrong, I realized myself personally, I wasn't able to have, we'll just say, a lot of shows in Kansas and Missouri this year, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't plenty of shows for you guys to get to finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you might have to drive, and I'm sorry, and I know it sucks sometimes, but it is what it is. So I'm not going to tell you that every one of these shows are going to be local to you guys, and you won't have to go an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm sorry, and I know it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you might have to drive to get a couple shows. I might have 3 or 4 shows locally to you, but for that extra 5th or possibly 6th show that you might need or whatever, unfortunately, you might have to drive. And and you can't necessarily be upset or angry at the judge because of that, because we also have other states that we have to cater to as well. And I don't mean cater as a word, but we also have other states that we need to worry about, because I take care of 4 states just like Dan takes care of 4 states, and yada yada yada. We all have our little region around us that we take care of. So not only do I take care of Kansas and Missouri, but also Iowa and Nebraska. So I have to make sure that I'm having plenty of shows in Iowa and plenty of shows in Nebraska and yada 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 yada.
Yep.
So
And we can kind of
yeah,
thank
yeah,
a lot of people as well that, we have one big show that takes care of 3 or 4 states in 712 boom that we have up in Sioux City.
Well,
I've
there's-
got one in Huron, South Dakota at the state fairgrounds called Wheel Jam, where we get 30, 40, 50 cars showing up. I've got one up in Fargo where I had my biggest show of the year at almost 50 this year.
What's up?
Every once in a while you can manipulate your shows a little bit, but even still, a couple of those shows, I still had people traveling 140, 150, got 200 miles at some of them. So I know that people drive. And 4 hours, please. Come on, Pippin. I drive further than that.
We all do.
I would always drive further than that. Even when I was doing the stuff way back when I was young, back in the late 80s.
I mean, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, Pippin. We're both probably pretty damn close to right there with you. And that was, and that was another thing. It was like, my wife yelled at me and she was like, not that she don't love doing shows just as much as I do, but she's tired of doing a show every weekend. We have a grandbaby and we have a life otherwise. So we're going to start doing probably 2 to 3 shows maybe in a month instead of 4 shows a month. So it's probably, there might be a couple shows that we're going to cut back on this year. And, I hate to say it, but, we have lives too. And it's not fair that I've been forcing my wife to go to all these shows and give up her grandbaby time. So
I got a couple that I don't necessarily, and it's not a money thing, but it's a time thing getting to the shows. Sometimes I have shows that are literally 5 minutes from me, because that's how far away it is from my little shop for myself and Phil. They're literally right down the road. I go through 2 stoplights and I'm on the interstate, and then I got a turn and I go a mile. So I'm literally 5 miles, maybe 6 away from it, tops. And the nice thing about that, I don't need permission from the city because I'm in an industrial area. So they're okay with me doing whatever I want to do on a Saturday or a Friday night, like my little shows are. But all of a sudden there's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I got 7 shows right there. I really don't need any more in South Dakota, but I'm still going to have them because not everybody can get to my shows on a Friday night. And the people that can, hey, great. And yes, I still do forget stuff. What a good help that Michael Pete was at finals for me again. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate what you were doing for me there on Saturday. And Eric as well, and Rocky and Carissa, everybody. And not only that, but the guy who's sitting on here with me right now, Jimmy and Sonia had just a fantastic show set up. I didn't have to do anything except change a name.
Yeah,
I didn't do a damn thing.
you did your show, but you know, it was a team effort. It wasn't, you know,
That's true.
it was everybody, you know, and we definitely appreciated all the help that we got in the lanes and
Oh, definitely.
set up and take down that you guys always give us. And believe it or not, the setup and take down, that's a lot, you know, especially coming from mine and Mama's standpoint, because we do so much to put on such a good show for you guys, and we bring damn near everything, including the kitchen sink. So it takes a minute to put it all up and to take it all down and to put it all away. So we definitely appreciate, from my standpoint, I appreciate the hell out of you guys for helping us every time you help us. So, and we love you and appreciate you as well, sir. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, Dustin. Thank you for coming up. And again, to both Chris and Dustin, it was their birthday weekends for finals from both of them last weekend for us. So again, a late happy birthday to both you guys. I know you were both in here. So a late hello for this Chris as well, just getting in here, Mr. Galloway.
Yeah, it's this weekend's his or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, no, definitely appreciate the heck out of it. Out of you guys.
You get, you get 20, 25 shows in a year, and especially up here for me, I'm further north than almost anyone except for Tim. And Tim's going to get lake effect snow, so he might have snow back in May. You know, we try and get out as much as we can, but if we can't because of weather, it's kind of hard to do sometimes.
You know, and I understand that, and I understand that's why it's always nice to have that extra hand outside, and because I can remember doing it for years with Steve Benton, and you know, I was his clamp guy. I was the guy that was out there giving all the clamps and clamping all the cars. Me and damn it, his name's right on the tip of my damn tongue. Harold. Me and Harold used to be the fucking clamp guys, and we used to clamp all the cars and help set up and help take down. And it's funny and it's ironic that it's all turned around, and you know, Steve is no longer running shows or doing shows, and now I'm running shows, and so it's cool. It's cool. I appreciate Jimmy pulling up.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was fun. But you know, I don't know. I'm excited for the new year. You know, it's kind of weird to be in the middle of the year and the end of the year, I guess, in October, and say I'm excited for the new year, and you know, and to be talking about the new year, because we still got 2 or 3 months before the year's over. Yep. But our year started. You know, we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. And I can't tell you, there's a show in November and then a show in December that I have. If not me and the one in November, it might be Dan. But either way, there's another show coming there. But other than that, I will be probably taking a break for a couple months.
I will probably be at that one regardless. If it's me or you.
Kind of relax and kind of chill out, because unfortunately with the weather up here, I don't have a shop or have a spot set up that I can actually have a show, and I hate canceling. You know, that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I can say in 5 years I've canceled one show in 5 years, and that wasn't my fault. That was actually the person running the place's fault for canceling on me. But I hate having. I hate having it. I hate putting all that work and effort into getting everybody ready and excited to go to a show, and then we cancel the show. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons I don't do a lot of shows in December and January and possibly March, because you never know. It could be 80 degrees on Sunday and it could be a blizzard on Saturday or Monday. You know, it's just, you never know in the Midwest, and that's my biggest issue, that why we don't have shows.
It is very true. I get, 20 miles away from me, it's 30 degrees, and right where I am, it's 20 below. And that does happen up here. I know that it happens down in the southern states as well when there are big storms coming through the Gulf or through the Atlantic with hurricanes and stuff. You get a surge,
or you get the rain bands that come through, and literally one part of town may be just drenched with 2 or 3 feet of rain, and the north side of town, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like where I work. I live 20 minutes away from where I work. I live in Kansas City, Kansas, but I work in Kansas City, Missouri,
right.
which is actually 20 minutes away. And that 20 minutes, it could be a blizzard in Kansas and nothing in Missouri. And I'm always dumbfounded by that. It's like, how? It was just snowing a foot here and it's clear over here. It's like, how the hell could this happen? But it happens. It does.
And it happens frequently. It's it's not an everyday thing always, but it is. And the weird thing about it, there's nothing out there that changes faster than the weather, because nothing else does. You still have to get to the grocery store, you still have to get to work, you still have to run those errands, because you can't do them the next day, because the next day is
Right.
possibly Sunday and it's closed. So yeah, it is the Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska border for us, for myself and Eric Carver. We only live about an hour and a half, 2 hours from each other, but in this little triangle of these 3 states, God, we're going to have 60, 80, 100 mile an hour winds between, well, maybe not 100, but 60, 80 mile an hour winds probably once a year. And the temperatures are going to be just like that as well. And it ain't going to be that the north is 60, the middle place is 80, and it's 100 here. It's going to be 160 and then 80. We're going to have just all messed up stuff. So
it must be my wife must be watching.
oh,
I'm guessing.
yeah, Marcus, I saw that. What the heck are you doing here working? We don't want your work. Well, we do actually, but you know what I mean. We'll get everything figured out.
Thanks, ready for that one. Should have idea.
Exactly. But no, it is one of those things that again, kind of as judges as well, we've got to be able to expect that. I don't know if Jimmy and Sonia were expecting the winds for our finals weekend, but we had easily 25 mile an hour winds, probably gusting probably upwards of 40, 45 at a couple times. And then Sunday, during our little kickoff shows, we had some rain right away in the morning. I was able to go through when it was dry. And all of a sudden, we had about half an hour where it was wet, and we had all kinds of turmoil and organized chaos happening. My stuff was already taken down, but we moved some tables with Jimmy and Sonia's gear. We started taking down some stuff with Jimmy and Sonia's gear, making sure that it was going to be able to dry out if possible.
Right.
So, wanted to make sure that that was easily available and had some time to do it. And
for everybody that don't know, Andrew McCullahan or McCulley, I don't know exactly. He's the owner of Midwest SPL now. He bought that from Steve Benton. So make sure everybody comes and checks out him with Midwest SPL. The 26th, I believe, of October is
26th and 27th on Sedalia.
Midwest SPL finals, which I will be there, and glad to give a hand out to anybody that needs a hand in the lanes. If you need something, just reach out to me. I've been there for years and plan on being there. Actually, I plan on starting to compete again with that organization this year, so it's going to be fun. Be kind of happy to be back there. So, yeah, I don't know.
I doubt he's spying.
He's spying on fun. Whatever. No, he's not spying. Maybe he's just coming in to say hi. You never know.
Yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with that. Every once in a while, Pippin, a 5 mile an hour, 10 mile an hour wind, it does break the heat. You
look at it like this, though. Honestly, think about it. What we had on Saturday, because it was 89 degrees on Saturday. So if it if it wasn't for that 30-mile-an-hour wind that we had all day, we probably would have sweated our butt off.
Yeah.
Probably
My-
really, really bad.
That, and I'm fairly fair skinned as well, and I know that my arms and my legs would have been as red as your hat right now as well. And I've been there when it is that way in that 712 boom, and I've had my calves just killing me at the end of the day because I'm standing always looking at the score sheets and the scoreboards, and oh god, the legs are killing you at the end of the day. The back of the neck, the back of the arms, they're just lobster red.
You know, it reminds me of working from asphalt and grass.
Yeah.
How much more I really appreciate being in the grass and dealing with a little bit of mud or a little bit of dust versus being on that asphalt, because by the end of the day, your calves hurt, your legs hurt, and you just hurt from being on asphalt or concrete all day long. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm old, but it hurts, damn it.
Well, it not only does
It did. I mean, I'm sorry.
Not only that, but you're sore, you're hot, and that nobody wants both of those. And you're underhydrated, regardless of how
You're
many
hot, you're
gallons
grouchy.
of
You just
water
wanna be
you're
done.
drinking. You're not drinking enough.
Sore, hot, grouchy, and just want to be done.
Yep. I'd
All
rather I'd rather deal with my allergies then as well. I'd rather be in the grass than on the tarmac out there or roofing. I did that for a summer in college, and oh god, never again.
But other than that, unless you ladies and gentlemen have anything else, I think we're probably going to cut it short because I got some things to get done, and I'm sure Dan's got things to get done, and yada, yada, yada. But
Yep.
I don't know. I appreciate the hell out of everybody. Appreciate all you guys for coming in, saying hi. Hopefully, I'll see a bunch of you guys this weekend at Wake the Dead. If not, probably in another 2 weeks at Midwest SPL. But other than that, I'd say everybody have a great night, and I appreciate the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Dan?
Echo the same thing and say that bigger, better, louder next year for Base Wars and every other org out there. But one way or another, get it done, folks, and time to get there.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Appreciate the hell out of you guys.
See ya.